Good morning. Good morning. Am I audible? Is my screen is clear? Yeah. Morning all. Welcome to this session on data science and cloud computing. In this webinar, we will be discussing about introduction of data science as well as cloud computing, and if time permits, we can see some hands-on with it. Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, it's over 12, so good afternoon all. So before starting this session, can I get some response from your side? What is data science? What is the thing which you know? Can you define it in one or two lines about data science? Of all kind rely on data to make informed decisions, and data science play a critical role in the process by providing the tools and methods needed to extract valuable insights from the data. And data science is actually for everyone. So while data science has been traditionally been associated with technical fields like computer science and statistics, nowadays it is becoming increasingly important across all the industries and disciplines, and anyone can benefit from learning data science skills, whether they are working in healthcare, finance, marketing, or any other field, because all the industry. Guys, am I audible? Can you hear me? Is my voice clear? Can you see my screen? Can I get some response from your side? Yeah, I think now it's fine. You can continue with the session. Yeah, so we'll continue with the session with applications of data science. I hope it's clear, and data science is actually for everyone. Those who come from different backgrounds also, nowadays data science is required for them. So talking about the applications of data science, I have wide range of applications from different fields, and starting with healthcare. So data science can be used in diagnosis of disease and making predictions, like algorithms in data science. What we used to do is we have some tools. Main tool is called as machine learning. We'll see that later on in this session about it. Talking about that, algorithms can be trained on large amount of patient data to identify patterns and predict the likelihood of certain diseases or conditions. For example, predictive models can be used to identify patterns at high risk of developing diabetes or heart disease or other health conditions. For example, I have a data set. I don't know how many of you have seen this data set. Okay, I have a heart disease data set. So this is actually a data set which we are discussing about data, right? So this is a small data set only, because nowadays when you go with real world data set, you need a large amount of data, large data or big data, which is usually around more than 1 lakh rows. And here it's a sample data which 1000 rows. It contains 1000 rows. Okay, and what is the heading? See here, it is a heart disease data set, and we have age column, there's gender column, then some of the medical conditions, then we have some BP level here, cholesterol level here, okay, and other medical details. Finally, we have a target column, and what this is, a single row which defines a single patient. This is actually data from people. Okay, so this is actually one row. one patient's detail, his age, his gender, okay, their gender, and then other details, and finally 0 means absent of heart disease. And some places I have 1, which means for these conditions this patient is having heart disease. So this is what data is. So with this data I can extract meaningful insight using statistics and machine learning, and then I can use it to make predictions, so that I can give some predictions that with these details, if your conditions are these, you are more likely to develop heart disease. Like that I can make predictions. So that is what data science. With the help of data we are extracting meaningful insights from it. And then talking about predictive analytics like finance and all, data science can be used to predict various financial outcomes such as stock price, interest rate, economic indicators and all. And this can help financial institutions make more informed decisions about investment and other financial activities, right? In data science, and particularly data science uses machine learning. In machine learning we have something known as time series prediction and all, time series forecasting, where we have some specialized algorithms where you can use it to make predictions. And data science is also one of the application in predictive analytics like stock price and so on. And then drug discovery and development in the pharmaceutical field, and data science techniques can be used to analyze large data sets and identify new drugs, targets or potential therapies. And data science models can be used to predict the efficacy of and safety of drugs before they are tested in clinical trials. So before going into that, we can run the simulation model using data science and find the probability or how it could be used or how it can work later on. And marketing is one of the important field nowadays with customer segmentation and targeting and all. Data science techniques can be used to segment customer based on behavior and their preferences, such as which product they like to purchase, or which product they are like to purchase, or which marketing message they are likely to respond to. And this can help marketers develop more targeted and personalized marketing campaigns. Also about crop yield predictions and all in the field of agriculture, data science can be used to analyze historical crop yield data and predict future field yield based on various factors such as weather pattern, soil condition and irrigation practices. For example, with the help of past 1 year or past 10 years data, if I have it, okay, based on the yield, what happened, if I had that past 10-year data, then I can surely make a prediction. Usually these patterns, they will follow a pattern which is like a seasonal pattern, and we can find these crops grow well in these implement. Can we discuss about the tools for data science? So these are some of the tools. Generally you can kickstart. This is a general overview of the tools which we can use. For example, for using other tools you require either Python programming mostly, or you can also prefer for R programming. So these are some of the tools which you can, it's a programming language which you can use for your applications of data. I'll be just doing a data analysis, which is just to understand what is there with the data. Okay, what's available in my data, I need to see that, right? So we'll be doing that with data visualization, and with the help of machine learning, NLP, then deep learning, and with the help of maths and statistics, we'll be proceeding further with the predictions and so on. So talking about their part, what is machine learning? Can you guys post down in chat box what's your understanding about machine learning? What is machine learning, guys? And you can perform all these things with the help of Python programming. That's why I have given it at the first itself. So what is machine learning? So machine learning is a thing where we'll be creating algorithms and models which are capable of making informed choices or decisions by processing data and learning from it. So now if I have the data, What I'll be doing is I'll be creating algorithms or models which are capable of making informed choices or decisions by processing the data and learning from it. So this is what happens in data or in machine learning. So I have a data, and what I'm doing is I'm analyzing it and processing it and giving it to my machine learning algorithm. Okay, so this is an algorithm which is nothing but a statistical tool. Okay, it has lot of features inside of it. What's the task of it is to learn or extract meaningful insights from this data, learn from it. For example, what it does is, if this is the age, if this is the gender, if this is the cholesterol level, what are the features, if these happens, then this is your target, which can be 0 or 1, which is heart disease, yes or no, and that you can achieve it with the help of machine learning. So that's what machine learning is. Then what is deep learning here? Now I hope Python programming is a language which you can use to perform machine learning or data visualization or what all things we do here. And data visualization is a place where you use tools to visualize your data, to understand or analyze your data. And in machine learning, you can actually train your algorithm to learn and make prediction, right? To train the machine, yeah, correct. And before seeing NLP, we'll see what is deep learning then. What's this name? Machine learning, deep learning. What's the difference? Talking about deep learning, it is a specialized field within machine learning where artificial neural networks are employed to process and analyze complex data. So you have a data, instead of you going and giving it to your algorithm, okay, an advanced version of algorithm, you can tell it as artificial neural network, where you have the option of creating and configuring it in your own way. And this is what, like, you will be connecting a lot of neurons. It's a different architecture where we will be creating neural networks. And if you have the data, you can analyze and process it and give it to your deep learning algorithm or neural network. So they perform the same task, learn, but they'll learn in a better way. Okay, and that's what is deep learning is. So to sum up, machine learning and deep learning is actually a subset of machine learning. Okay, and then what is this natural language processing? What is this fourth one? Natural language processing. Do you guys have any idea what is natural language processing? And talking about this maths and statistics, before going into that, let us see what is this maths and statistics. As I told you earlier, this machine learning algorithm, it's nothing but a bunch of statistical tools. So when you have, or if you want to handle this data, what does this data looks like? Okay, what is this? This data is nothing but numbers, right? When it's numbers and you are going to work with numbers, it is going to be either maths and combination of statistics. So a lot of things are applied in data pre-processing. In this part, analyzing and pre-processing, statistical tools have been utilized a lot of places, and it's also used in algorithms. So it's like a backbone. It's where the algorithms and pre-processing tools are built off. So we are still left with this natural language processing. I'll tell you what it is. One of the high-end application nowadays available of natural language processing is ChatGPT. Okay, so natural language processing, also called as in short NLP, is a thing where it's a combination of computer science, artificial intelligence, and human language. So what is this natural language processing? NLP or natural language processing is a machine learning technology. So it's actually derived from machine learning, which uses machine learning that gives computers the ability to interpret, okay, manipulate and comprehend human language. Okay, and this is also a important tool because nowadays the data is not only available in numerical format, right? So if I have a social media data, like what's the tweet data, if I have it, okay, then I can use it to get meaningful insights from it and make data science predictions with that too. So that's where NLP comes into play. It helps us to convert, if I tell you, it helps us to convert our natural text, okay, into some numbers so that we can once again work with our neural network or machine learning algorithms, because these are statistical tools and your data has to be numbers. If you have it in any other format, then find a way to turn it into numbers. That's it, right? With the help of numbers, you can proceed with the same steps. So once again, what is data science? with a vast amount of data, which can be a numerical data, it can be text data, you can also have image data. Okay, so with the data, turn it into numbers, and data science helps make sense of it by using statistics and computational methods to extract meaningful insights. Okay, so a lot of companies use, for example, I have a churn data set, or I think I am not having it right now. Yeah, there is a data set which is called as churn data set. It's like a company's data set which defines, like, they have the feature of the customers and whether they are staying with that particular company or they have left the company. So this helps the company to decide what they have to improve from their side to make their customers stay. So these are some of the applications of data science, and if it is clear, you can, if you have doubts, you can talk or ask about data science. Once we clear that, we can shift our focus towards cloud computing in the next half. Any doubt, guys, which we have to discuss about data science? Anything you want to know or learn? If it's clear, please post down in chat box. Please keep this session interactive. Then only I can continue with the next part, which is going to be cloud computing. And actually, I'm planning to create a server and then run a commonly available HTTP site and post down the link in chat box so that you guys can also see it. Use that link, view that. Can we do it something like that with cloud computing? Well, there is no response. Are we clear with data science? Any doubts? Any doubts with the introduction about it? Yes? Fine. So, yeah. Continuing with, cloud computing. So we'll shift our focus towards cloud computing, and talking about cloud computing, you can perform data science with the help of cloud computing too. And in real time, there are a lot of applications. I'll connect data science and cloud computing at the end of this session. Before that, we'll see what is cloud computing. Can I get some response about what is cloud computing? What do you guys know about cloud computing? What's the name? What does that mean? Cloud computing. Please stay till the end of the session, because I'll be giving you a demo and I'll be deploying a virtual server which you can also use a site using HTTP protocol. We'll be seeing that. Yeah, good. Store data on the cloud. Yeah, you can store data. Not only that, you have other options too. Cloud opens a lot of options for you guys. What is cloud computing then? So for cloud computing, there are different definitions are available. One of the common, I got this definition actually from AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. So what is the definition of cloud computing from their side is, cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Okay. So cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources. IT resources means it can be storage, it can be server, it can be database. Okay, it can be like anything which is IT related is an IT resource, and they are providing the options via the internet. You can access it through the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Okay, I'll tell you a simple example. You guys are using cloud computing nowadays. Okay, I hope everyone is using Google Drive, right? You are storing your files, images, data you have, you are storing it in Google Drive. But what happens in Google Drive is one of the storage application of IT resources. Okay, so you are storing it, and I hope the maximum space for you available for free is 15 GB. Okay, I can go into my cloud and see that I am able to store 15 GB of files for free. After that, it will tell me, okay, the storage is gone and I need to buy some more. Okay, so if I require another 10 GB, then they will be giving some plans for me, like monthly, if you pay this amount, you can get it extra GB storage. Okay, that is what the meaning here. See here, based on my demand, okay, I can get IT resources through the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. So I don't need any physical device to store my data, right? I can directly store it in the cloud, right? Are we clear with this definition of what is cloud computing? So cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. And for example, I'll tell you a use case scenario. Imagine you are an entrepreneur and you are planning to deploy a e-commerce website like Flipkart or Amazon. Okay, so your plan is to deploy a site which works similar like a Flipkart or Amazon, and you are planning to start a company. So what you have done is you got the application developed by your team, you got your developers, and what they are doing is they need to deploy their site. Okay, this site should be deployed globally with the domain name so that everyone can access it. Not only that, okay, if you know about full stack development, these site will have front end, back end and database connection, because transactions should be done, data should be stored, everything should be properly managed, right? To do all these things, we need something known as a server. Okay, and what you are doing is initially you are going with a physical server, which means in your office you are buying your server. So what the server will have is these are the components of a server. You will be having your CPU, RAM, HDD, SSD, motherboard, power supply, internet supply, cooling system, GPU if required. So it's like a computer, it's a server for interaction with the client. You are going to deploy your application in this physical server you have in your office. Okay, so your application has been deployed, and what happens is one day you have actually announced some big billion sale or something like that. Okay, so now your usual traffic or your usual load in your server it can handle, because this is a physical server which has some limitations. For example, the CPU level you have or the RAM capacity you have can handle some amount of load. When the load increases, this can't handle it, has some limitations, right? After that, what happens is when your load keep on increasing suddenly, your server can't handle this. So to avoid or handle this issue, what happens when your load goes beyond, what happens is you can't see your site, it won't work properly. In such case, what you have done is you can increase your server capacity, like you are going to buy further more server capacity. So you are having now 4 servers, okay, in your office. So now when the load increases, these 4 can split among them and work properly. So now the load has been properly managed. Fine. After that big billion sale, what happened is your load has been become normal. Okay, now it's going to once again back to the normal trend. It is decreasing from the peak. So now what happens is your site can run with only 1 server, and remaining 3 servers will be simply sleeping because they don't have the work to do. And for example, only in a year, okay, only 1 month you have this high peak, okay, and remaining 11 months you will be having normal load. What happens at that 11 months, these 3 servers are going to be simply not used. At the same time, you have to manage it, you have to provide all the resources, you have to take care of it, right? This is actually a little bit not cost effective, because companies like startups will be struggling with this. And once again, what happens if your load goes further beyond these 4 servers, they can't handle it. Now you are going to buy another few servers and you are going to stack it like this. Okay, for companies, some startups, okay, they can't manage this. This is where cloud computing comes into play. So this is what the disadvantage of on-premises storage is. Okay, when you have on your own, your peak over the time may go high or low. At that time, the remaining servers will be simply sitting, or when your load is high, you need to purchase more and keep it, or you have to maintain it. But if you go and prefer for cloud storage, that's what the advantage of cloud storage is. So in cloud storage, what we can do is, yes, correct, handling and storing data without consuming physical space, we can obtain cloud storage or cloud computing. If I go with cloud server, I can get this server through internet, okay, from some of the service provider. So what I can do is, when my load is high, I can purchase, okay, for that particular period of time. For example, if my load is high in February, what I can do is I can go and get, okay, the high end. So I'll be paying high in that particular month. Next month my load is less, means I can go with low quality or low infrastructure servers. Okay, so like this, if I go, means whenever I require, I'll pay high. Whenever I don't have that necessity, I'll pay low. Okay, this is what the advantage of cloud computing is. So Now you have deployed your application through internet in the cloud. So what does this cloud means? Whether it's like really in the cloud? No. Okay, so what happens is these are some service providers available. They have something known as a data center where they have bought a lot of servers. They will be managing it by them. Okay, and they will be providing it through the internet for you to access. So they will take care of it, and your task is to just rent it through the internet and use it in your application. Clear about the what is cloud computing and how it's actually a good thing, and how what's the advantage or disadvantage of on-premises and advantage of cloud computing is. If it's clear, we can see about the types of cloud services. Talking about the types of cloud services, we have three important types or services available. One is infrastructure as a service, another one is platform as a service, another one is software as a service. And this single image can help you to understand that. What is on-premises means you are having it on your own, which means you will be having your servers. You have to take care of its networking, its storage, okay, the servers, the virtualization, the OS, middleware, runtime, and finally your application or e-commerce site you have, right? Everything you have to manage on your own. That's what the sky blue color is. But there are some cloud services which is called as infrastructure as a service. They provide the basic infrastructure, which means, okay, they will be providing networking, storage, servers, and virtualization, okay, through cloud. And what your task is, you have to install your OS. Okay, for example, if I want Linux, I can install it, I can have my runtime, I can have my data, and I can run my application. If I go with platform as a service, then they will be providing everything. What I have to do is I have to install my application and run it. Okay, I need to take care of my code and run my applications. And we also have something known as software as a service. Everything they'll be providing it, and you just have to take care of your application. Just run the application which they are providing. They'll take care of all the support and everything. Okay, so these are the three types of services: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay, and these are some of the leading cloud service providers like Google Cloud, okay, GCP, Google Cloud Platform, AWS is Amazon Web Services. Then we have Microsoft Azure, and we have IBM Cloud also. So these are some of the leading cloud service provider. Apart from these, there are other service providers too. Nowadays, database providers, everyone have started providing through the cloud. So these are some of the service providers. Clear about these things? Is it clear? So I have an AWS account right now. This is my AWS console. If you can create a free tier account. At the same time, what all things you use, you have to pay for it. So you have to be careful with that. Okay, as it is an IT resources which has been given based on the demand, and there are free options too. So if you want to do or practice this, I'll suggest you to go and learn it first properly and then try to use it. Okay, don't go and just create an account and play, then your bills will be keep on adding. See here, I have a billing option in this AWS. Right now I have used just for $0.2. It is also calculated in US dollars. So if you accidentally left something, keep on running, then your bill may go high up to $100, $1,000 like that, which is actually really an issue. And yeah, talking about this, you have an option which is called as EC2. I'll show this. This is virtual servers in the cloud, which means these are the server options. So AWS is having a lot of services. See here, a lot of services are available for different domains. You also have machine learning service where you can perform data science. You have a database services. You have data analytics services. So it is actually a really good tool for data science also, cloud computing. At the same time, This EC2 is for creating servers in the cloud where you can run your application. So I'll give a quick tour. You have to create an instance. I'll go on launch instance. I can give a name. For example, I'll create it as my server 1, and here I can select my OS which I require. Okay, so this is infrastructure as a service, so I have to select my OS and create my application and run it. So I can select Amazon Linux or Mac OS or Windows. I'll go with Linux, Amazon Linux. Okay, so talking about Linux, this is a free tier option, so I can go without paying any amount if I use this particular version. I also have other versions where I have to pay. I'll go with this free tier eligible option, and this is the memory capacity, instance type, and this is for security reasons. I have one key pair which I have created. Anyway, we'll create a new key pair. And we'll allow HTTP traffic because I'm planning to run one, and we'll launch this instance. Yeah, now I have created a server which will take few within a minute it will be starting, so it is in the state of pending. No, you can't find, like, AWS is the cheapest one. Comparatively they are very cheap. If you go with low capacities, you can get it for free or cheap based on the service. Okay, some services may be costly in AWS, maybe cheap in Azure. So before starting anything, you have to verify, or you can get some quotation, like what is, you have something known as a bill calculator and all. You can use it to calculate and then decide whether which service you are going to use for your particular problem you are going to solve. Now it is running. I can connect to it, and I can click this connect and connect it. Now I will be getting my Linux which I have asked from AWS. So this is actually, I am creating a Linux computer through the cloud, through the server which they have given. I'll go with sudo su yum update. I'll update what all things are available, nothing to do. Okay, so I'll install httpd, which is Apache server I'm going to run now, and create my application, a sample site which is going to run through HTTP protocol. I'll even give the link in the chat box. You guys try to actually use it. Okay, I can go with system control start httpd system control enable httpd. Okay, it has been created, and I should use my public IP to view that. It works. Okay, can you guys type this actually and try to connect to this particular site, this number? If you use this IP address, you can also see it. Try it in your browser, guys. Currently I can't able to, I think I can't post it now in the chat box. Can anyone try this? In your browser, type this IP, you will be getting it. I hope I have pasted it in the chat box. If you have opened that, you should get this. It works because I have deployed it globally with the help of web server, Apache server. Can anyone update me, post down in chat box whether you are getting this site or not? Anyone tried it? Yeah, can you see it? It works, which is actually from Apache server. And now I'll cut off this instance. Okay, I'll just delete this instance. So I have created, if I don't want it running, I'll just stop it now. I'll select it, and in the instead state I'll stop this instance. And now if you guys try it, you can't access it. Try to get that site, it won't be working now because I have stopped my server, right? Now try it, you won't be able to view it because the server has been stopped. So that's how this virtual server will be working. Okay, and for data science guys, I'll show you some other options which is interesting and available. I have stopped this. I'll go and delete it, terminate this because I don't need it now. If I terminate, what all things I had inside, everything will be gone. Okay, for database, actually we have like RDS, which is a service which is relational database. You can create, okay, you can create a database and you can get some link to connect it with your SQL workbench, and then you can have your storage here. You can manage it from anywhere else. You can do that task. You have something known as DynamoDB, which is actually for non-relational database. Okay, no SQL database, you can create table and manage it. Okay, so in AWS, another important service is S3. So S3 is actually a storage one. Okay, so like that, in cloud we have a lot of services. This is for storage. You can create buckets. Buckets means folders like that. Okay, where we can go and create and then manage it. So a lot of services are available. Particularly for machine learning, we have something known as SageMaker. You can build, train and deploy machine learning models. You have you have a lot of services available here. You can create your machine learning application. You can deploy it in AWS. Okay, you can perform machine learning operations with the help of SageMaker. SageMaker is providing their notebook, which is actually it's similar to your Jupyter notebook. You can also get SageMaker built-in algorithms are available, like natural language models, computer vision models, and so on. So a lot of tools are available from cloud side. Also for data analytics also we have some services, like in the analytics, if you go, you have all these services. This is ETL. How many of you guys know about what is ETL? ETL is a general concept about data. It is called as data ETL, or ETL means extract, transform and load. Okay, so if you have the data, you can extract information from it, transform it and then load or save it in some other places. That's the idea. Okay, so note down this site. Actually you can go and actually view it. See, if I scroll it, I can go zoom in and I can enter the lobby. So this is their data center. I have told you, right, the cloud service provider will be having a lot of buildings where they will be storing their servers like this. So this place, if you want to see, you can go and explore it here. They have a 3D model. This is the lobby. Okay, so see here, you can use your mouse to actually go and explore it. So you can explore to the next room, which is the operational room. So where a lot of process will be going on. So this is, they will be having analytics happening here, and then you can enter the mechanical area. You can explore about the data center. So I just want to show you guys about the server room. Please wait. So now we have entered into the server room. See here, this is the server room, heart of the cloud's massive computing and storage capacity. And yeah, so this is what the servers will look like. So they will be providing all the supplies, power supply, maintenance and all. So their task is to provide it through the internet, and your task is to rent it and use it in a way. And they will be having lot of systems like yeah, you can watch these things. Like this is a real data center. They have the videos available. So these are some of the cloud service providers which you can explore, and they have a lot of options too. Okay, like what I have done with AWS, creating Linux environment, you can create Windows. You can do the same with Azure also. So like that, cloud service providers have a lot of tools and options. If you are interested, you can learn more about it. And that's what about this particular session. We have seen about data science and cloud computing. Any doubts which we want to discuss? Do you guys have any doubts? Or can we wind up this session? So if there is no other doubts, we can wind up this session. Thank you. Thanks for attending this 1 hour webinar on data science and cloud computing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.